turns or what? Let's see. I'll just read for a couple of minutes, and then if
Yes,
anyone wants, they can take
I
over.
have
yeah, I
started,
can take
okay?
over.
I started
Yeah,
the
Okay.
recording.
done,
Okay.
done.
So we are reading the second half of October from the book, The Happiness Project. The subheading is Stimulate the Mind in New Ways. As I look for ways to become more mindful, I realize that using my brain in unfamiliar ways would enhance my experience of the present moment and my awareness of myself. I came up with several strategies. First, I posted sticky notes around the apartment to remind me of the frame of mind I wish to cultivate. The note on my laptop reads, focused and observant. The bedroom note reads, quiet mind. After I put a note in the master bedroom that read, tender and light-hearted. Jamie crossed it out right and wrote, light and flaky. I had to laugh. The note in my office reads, enthusiastic and creative. I also switched on the breezy singer Bluebird that I had bought in May so that the goofy bird song would make me mindful of thoughts of gratitude. A blog reader adopted a similar strategy to stay mindful. Every day, I type passwords into programs and computers too many times to count. I don't save my passwords on the computer, but I'm a compulsive email checker. So, a multitude of times a day, I type the same thing over and over and over. And one day, I realized that what I use for my password gets ingrained in me due to constant repetition, like a mantra. Let's say my password is tennis. I play tennis, by the way. And although I do not think about tennis on purpose all the time, I eventually realized that it is my favorite activity. It's what I put a lot of time and effort on. It's what I do most outside of work. I later changed my passwords to a goal I'd been working on or an achievement I want. They became a constant reminder of my goals, my dreams, of what I want to achieve. It's basically the same idea as surrounding yourself with reminders of your aims, your dreams, or repeating positive thoughts in your mind. Next, I decided to try hypnosis as a different route to cultivate my mind. A friend is super suggestible, and her crazy stories about what she had done under hypnosis had piqued my interest. My first act for October was to take a train to go Old Greenwich, Connecticut, to meet Peter, my yoga instructor's cousin and a hypnotist. I wasn't sure what I thought about hypnotism. Proponents argue that the hypnotic state, with its concentration, boosted relaxation, and increased suggestibility, brings heightened focus and responsiveness to instructions. So, hypnosis helps people break bad habits and imprint new patterns on their minds. Or it might be, I speculated that posti- post hypnotic change was due to the Hawthorne effect. An experience in January, studying a behavior can lead to its alteration, or the placebo effect. Treatment works because it's expected to work. Nevertheless, whatever the particular mechanism involved, hypnosis sounded worth a try. As I got into Peter's car in Old Greenwich, I realized that I hadn't done much research on him. It felt a bit odd to be off in some small town in Connecticut, getting into a stranger's car and being driven to his office in a small apartment in a residential building. Fortunately for me, Peter was legitimate. First, he led me through a series of relaxation exercises. Then we talked about the list of aims he had asked me to bring. I had included goals, small and large, everything from eliminating nighttime snacking to expressing daily gratitude. Then came the actual hypnosis. First, Peter asked me to imagine myself gradually becoming heavier, tracing numbers with my eyes, visualizing air, my hand didn't move an inch. Then he slowly instructed me on behavior that I would change. When I felt myself snappish, I would remind myself to lighten up. I can make my points more effectively with humor and tenderness than with irritation. When I feel myself getting annoyed because someone is giving me bad service, a pharmacist, a nurse, a clerk, etc., I'll establish a friendly, cooperative tone. I'll remember to cut people slack. As I turn to my computer or sit down to eat or walk down the street, I'll feel happy and grateful for my health, for loving my work so much, for having such a great family, for having such a comfortable life, and from this device a feeling of lightheartedness, enthusiasm, and tenderness. When I'm listening to other people speak, I will listen intently so that I'll follow up their comments, laugh at their jokes, engage deeply. No more interrupting or waiting impatiently for my turn. I'll stop overusing the phrases you know and like and slang. When I hear myself talking that way, I'll take a deep breath, slow down my speech, and choose my words more carefully. After dinner, I'll turn out the lights in the kitchen and not return. No snacking, no picking at one thing or another. When I'm hungry, I will reach for fresh fruit and vegetables. Would anyone like to take over? Okay.
Yeah, ma'am, I will start reading. Yeah, I will continue.
Yeah.
He counted backward and suggested that I would wake up feeling refreshed. The whole instruction took about 20
Yeah.
minutes, and Peter had recorded it on an old fashioned cassette tape. Listen to this tape each day, he instructed. You should be relaxed, attentive, and not sleepy. Before bed is the worst time to do it. Does it really work? I couldn't resist asking. I have seen extraordinary results, he assured me. I dug out my old Walkman and bought an extra pair of AA batteries. I listened to the tape each day, and as the instructor, each time I heard it, I imagined myself acting according to the goals I had set. Jamie enjoyed making fun of me. He thought the entire exercise was ridiculous. He made a lot of jokes of the what's going to happen if I tell you to quack like a duck. Variety. It was easy to laugh off his teasing, but I got a bit discouraged. I had hoped to find hypnosis an easy, passive shortcut to self improvement, but it was a struggle to concentrate on the tape. But I did my best, and I do think it helped. For example, one day I felt enraged because after I had spent about 5 hours putting together an online photo book on Shutterfly, when I logged into my account to complete the finishing touches, it was gone. All I found was empty folder. I was ready to yell, but as I dialed customer service, I heard a soft voice in my ear. I will establish a friendly, cooperative tone. And I did. Of course, it helped that the file popped back into existence before too long.
Yeah. Mm.
I also stopped eating brown sugar out of the jar. Gross, but something that I did do quite frequently. To me, the effectiveness of hypnosis seemed less the result of hypnotic suggestibility and more the result of mindfulness. My hypnosis tape made me more aware of thoughts and actions, and I was able to change them through a sort of mental practice. But that was fine as long as it worked. For my experiment, I had decided to try laughter yoga, founded by an Indian, I assume that it's Indian doctor. This combination of yoga and laughter has spread rapidly. Can you little minimize so that I
Mm.
can I'm missing that the left side corner. Let okay, yeah, done, great. Rapidly around the world, and I kept running into reference to it as a happiness-inducing activity. Laughter yoga combines clapping, chanting, breathing, and stretching exercise drawn from yoga to calm the mind and the body. And the simulated laughter provoked by the exercise often turns into real laughter. Please move down. Okay. One joy of living in New York City is that everything is an offer. I easily located a laughter yoga class near my apartment and showed up one Tuesday evening in the basement conference room of a physical therapy office. 12 of us were led through exercise of yoga, breathing, and simulated laughter. We did, we did the line exercise, the ho ho ho, ha 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 exercise, the trial of exercise, and several others. And I could tell that many other practitioners were really feeling a boost in mood. Two people in particular collapsed in fits of real laughter, not me. The leader was kind and knowledgeable, the other people were pleasant, and the exercise seemed purposeful, but all I felt was a horrible self consciousness. As I had walked into the class, I had vowed that I would try it at least 3 times. But by the time I left, I decided that as much as folks praised laughter yoga and as valuable as novelty and challenges were to happiness, and even though an exercise in mindful laughter sounded like an excellent idea, laughter yoga was it not for me. I moved on to drawing. I hadn't done any drawing or painting since high school. So, taking a drawing class would awaken a part of my mind that had long lain dormant. Also, if cultivating mindfulness means striving to develop non judgmental awareness, I suspected that drawing would be a good challenge. It would be hard not judge my no existent drawing skill. I would read about a drawing on the right side of the brain class that claimed to be able to change the way in which people processed visit information so anyone could learn to draw. Perfect. I figured that, as with laughter yoga, I would be able to find a drawing on the right side of the brain class in Manhattan. And sure enough, the class was offered by the program's principal's New York instructor right in his own apartment in Soho. I indulged in a modest splurge, signed up, and for 5 days took the subway downtown for a day that started at 9:30 a.m. and ended at 5:30 p.m. Novelty and challenge bring big boost in happiness. Unfortunately, novelty and challenge also bring exhaustion and frustration. During the class, I felt intimidated, defensive, and hostile. At times, at most panically with anxiety. I felt drained each night and my back hurt. I'm not sure why it was so stressful, but trying to follow the instructor's directions, squint, measure against my upheld thumb, and draw a straight line on a diagonal was physically and even emotionally taxing. One person in our little class had a kind of breakdown and quit after 3 days. Yet, it was also tremendously gratifying to learn something new, to partake of the atmosphere of growth.
These are her drawings.
Yeah. I drew this self portrait on the first day of class. Later, when I showed it to a friend, she said, "Come on, admit it. Didn't you do a bad job on purpose to make any progress you made look more dramatic?" Actually, no. This was my best effort. This is a nice picture. I drew this self portrait on the last day of class. My instructor helped me with all the hard parts, and it doesn't actually resemble me very much, but it does look like a portrait of a person. Drawing exercise and unaccount, unaccustomed part of my brain. But apart from that, just the fact that I was taking a class boosted my mindfulness. Being in a different neighborhood at an unusual time of day heightened my awareness of my surroundings. New York City is so beautiful, so endlessly compelling. The rhythm of the day was very different from my typical schedule. I enjoyed meeting new people. Plus, the classwork. I drew my hand, I drew a chair, I drew a self portrait that, although it didn't look much like me, did look like an actual person. The drawing class was good illustration of one of my secrets of adulthood. Happiness doesn't always make you feel happy. Activities that contribute to long-term happiness don't always make me feel good in the short term. In fact, they are something downright unpleasant. I will repeat this. Happiness doesn't always make you feel happy. Activities that contribute to long term happiness don't always make me feel good in the short term. In fact, they are sometimes downright unpleasant. Mansi, would you like to read or do you want to take some
I
time?
can take it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. From
Over to you.
drawing, I turned to music, another dormant part of my mind. According to research, listening to music is one of the quickest, simplest ways to boost mood and energy and to induce a particular mood. Music stimulates the part of the brain that triggers happiness and it can relax the body. In fact, studies shows that listening to a patient's choice of music during medical procedures can lower the patient's heart rate, blood pressure, and anxiety level. Nevertheless, one of the things that I've accepted about myself as part of being Gretchen is that I don't have much appreciation for music. I wish I enjoyed music more, but I don't. Every once in a while, though, I fix it on a song I really love. Recently, I went through an obsession with the Red Hot Chili Peppers Under the Bridge. The other day, while writing in a coffee shop, I overheard a song that I love but had forgotten about. Fatboy Slim's Praise You. I went home, loaded it onto my iPod, and listened to it that night while I was cleaning my office. This song flooded me with tender feelings for Jamie. Yes, we have gone through the hard times and the good. Yes, I have to praise him like I should. This would have been a good activity for February, the month of marriage. I thought again about Jung playing with blocks to recapture the passionate engagement of this boy of his boyhood. When I was little, I used to dance around the room to my favorite music. I was too young to read, so I asked my mother to mark the record of the Nutcracker suit so I'd be able to find it. But I stopped dancing when I got older. Maybe I should try dancing around the room again. I didn't want anyone walking on me while I was doing it, and it took a long time before I had an opportunity. I hadn't realized before how rare it was for me to be home alone. Finally, one Sunday afternoon, I told Jamie I was going to stay behind when he took the girls around the corner to visit his parents. After the apartment was empty, I went into our bedroom, turned off the lights, lowered the blinds, and put my iPod into an iPod speaker base. I had to squelch thoughts of self criticism that I was a bad dancer or looked goofy. It was fun. I did feel goofy, but I also felt energized and exhilarated. I started thinking more about music. I thought I'd accepted the fact that as part of being Gretchen, I really like music, but in fact the truth was slightly different. I thought I didn't like music, but in fact I didn't scroll up approve of my own taste. I wished I liked sophisticated more music like jazz or classical or esoteric rock. Instead, my taste ran mostly to what might play on a light FM station. Oh well, be Gretchen. Listening and dancing to music absolutely boosted my feelings of mindfulness. I felt much more aware of music during the day. As I worked in a diner only, no? I really heard Abba singing "Take a Chance on Me" over the loudspeaker. This heightened responsiveness to my environment made me feel more present in the moment. Instead of tuning music out, I made music a bigger part of my experience. Yeah. Scroll up. Keep a good diary. Keep a food diary. Yeah. I also, if anyone wants to read, just put your name. Otherwise, I'll continue. I also wanted to apply the principles of mindfulness in a much less elevated context. My eating habits. Studies show that merely being conscious of eating makes people eat more healthfully. And one way to encourage yourself to eat more mindfully, experts agree, is to keep a food diary. Without a record, it's easy to overlook what you eat without noticing it. Grabbing 3 Hershey's Kisses every time you pass a coworker's desk throughout the day or eating leftovers from other people's plates as you clear the kitchen table. In one study, dieters who kept a food diary lost twice as much weight as dieters who didn't bother. I'd felt guilty for a long time about my mediocre eating habits and I wanted to eat more healthfully. Plus, I wanted to lose a few pounds without going on a diet. Hardly an original goal. Almost 7 out of 10 Americans say they are trying to eat healthfully to lose weight. Making notes about the food I ate sounded easy enough, and I figured that of all my various resolutions, this would be one of the easier ones to keep. I bought myself a little notebook. I kept a food diary. A friend told me at lunch soon after, when I mentioned my latest resolution, she showed me her calendar, which was crammed with tiny writing detail her daily intake. I update it every time I eat. They say that keeping a food diary helps you eat better and lose weight. I said, so I'm giving it a try. It's a great thing to do. I've been keeping mine for years. Her recommendation reassured me that the food diary was a good idea. My friend was thin and fit, but plus she was one of the healthiest. If also one of the most eccentric eaters I knew. I just heard her order lunch. I'd like the green salad, chopped, no dressing, no olives, no or stuffed grape leaves, plus a side order of grilled chicken and a side order of steamed broccoli. When the food arrived, she heaped the chicken and broccoli onto the salad. It was a lot of food, but tasty and very healthy. I ordered the same salad but without the extra chicken and broccoli. Before we dug in, we sprinkled artificial sweetener over our salads. She taught me this trick. It sounds awful, but artificial sweetener makes a great substitute for dressing. It's like adding salt. You don't taste it, but it brings out the flavor of the food. I refuse to go on a diet, I told her. Oh, me too, she said. But try keeping a food diary. It's interesting to see what you eat over the course of a week. I tried it. My problem? I found it particularly impossible to remember to keep a food diary. I've heard repeatedly that it takes 21 days to form a habit, but in my experience, that just isn't true. Day after day, I tried, but only rarely did I manage to remember to record everything I ate in a day. One problem with not being very mindful, it turns out, is that you have trouble keeping your mindfulness records. Nevertheless, even attempting to keep a food diary was a useful exercise. It made me more attuned to the odds and ends I put into my mouth. A piece of bread, the last few bites of Eleanor's lasagna. Most important, it forced me to confront the true magnitude of my fake food habit. I pretended to myself that I indulged only occasionally, but in fact, I ate a ton of fake food. Pretzels, loafer cookies or brownies, weird candy in bite sized portions, and other non very healthy snacks. Food that comes in crinkly packages from corner delis. As a friend described my weakness, I liked eating fake food because when I got hungry during the day, it was more convenient to grab something fake than to sit down to eat proper food like soup or salad. Plus, fake food was a treat. I'd never buy a real chocolate chip cookie or a candy bar, but I couldn't resist the supposedly low cal version. Even though I knew that this kind of food was low in nutrition and high in calories, I kept eating it, and this habit was a daily source of guilt and self reproach. Each time I thought about buying some fake food, I told myself that I shouldn't, but then I did anyway. I tried and failed to scroll up, give up fake food in the past, but the food diary, incomplete as it was, made me aware of how much fake food I was eating. I gave up fake food cold turkey, and I it felt good to give it up. I'd thought of these snacks as treats and hadn't realized how much feeling bad they had generated, feeling of guilt, self neglect, and even embarrassment. Now those feelings were gone. Just as I had seen in July when I was thinking about money, keeping a resolution to give something up can be surprisingly satisfying. Who would have thought that self denial could be so agreeable? I told my sister what I had done, and she answered very sensibly, "You basically eat a very healthy diet. So why give up fake food altogether? Limit yourself to a few treats each week." Nope, can't do it, I told her. I know myself too well to try that. When it comes to fake food, I'm like Samuel Johnson, who remarked, abstinence is as easy to me as temperance would be difficult. In other words, I can give something altogether, but I can't indulge occasionally. It's true, I have a very particular definition of fake food. I still drink a huge amount of Diet Coke and Fresca. I still use a ton of artificial sweetener. I also eat a fair amount of candy, which I consider real and not fake. But no more crinkly packages from corner delis, and that's a real step forward. Bananas, almonds, oatmeal, tuna sandwiches, and salsa on pita bread are filling the gap. My fake food experience showed me why mindfulness helps you break bad habits. When I became truly aware of what I was eating, I found it much easier to change the automatic record choices I had been making. 2 or 3 times a day, I'd mindlessly been picking up snacks in corner delis. But when I was confronted with what I was doing, I wanted to stop. And it was only after I'd kicked my fake food habit that I realized what a drain it had been on my happiness. Every day I'd felt uncomfortable twinks of self reproach because I knew that kind of food wasn't healthy. Once I stopped that habit, that relentless source of bad feeling vanished. The mindfulness resolution for October had been interesting and productive and had boosted my happiness considerably. But more important, my increased awareness had led me to an unrelated yet significant realization. I was at risk of turning into a happiness bully. How much is there? Can you just see? Okay,
Yeah,
just
just 2 minutes,
finish
just
up.
a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
no problem. I'd become much more sensitive to people being negative, indulging in knee jerk permission, pessimism, or not having what seemed to me the right spirit of cheerfulness and gratitude. And I felt a strong impulse to lecture, which I didn't always manage to resist. Instead of following June's resolution to cut people slack, I was becoming more judgmental. My desire to be a happiness evangelist made me want to meddle. When a guy told me that he hated making small talk and so whirled away the dull hours of a dinner party by doing complex math problems in his head, or when a young woman told me she was going to dental school because she liked the hours that dentist work, but that her fantasy was one day to do something involving flowers, because flowers were her true passion. I could barely contain myself. No, I wanted to tell them, you're making a mistake. I'll tell you why. I'd become a happiness bore. I'd become a happiness bore. In a sense, in a scene right out of a Woody Allen movie, I practically got into a fist fight with someone. Just scroll up.
I
With someone
practically quite.
Yeah, I practically got into a fist fight with someone about the nature of Zen. You seem quite attached to the theory of non attachment. I said snidely. I kept interrupting. I wouldn't shut up. I was such a crusader for the idea of doing a happiness project that I found myself practically shouting people down. In particular, I kept trying to force clutter clearing onto my friends. My clutter was mostly gone. I craved the vicarious thrill I got from tackling a truly messy closet. Listen, Jamie warned me one night. You mean well, but you are going to offend people if you keep pushing them so hard to clear the clutter. But every time I help someone clear the clutter, they're thrilled, I said. It's okay to suggest it, but don't press the issue. You want to be nice, but you might end up rubbing someone the wrong way. I remembered how recently I'd walked into a friend's apartment and immediately offered clutter clearing help and anytime she wanted it. Even at the time, it occurred to me that she might have found my reaction a bit rude. Okay, you're right, I admitted. I ease upon people. I called my sister. Am I annoying you with all my talk about happiness? I asked. Of course not, Elizabeth said. Do you think I seem happier? Sure. How can you tell? Well, you seem much lighter, more relaxed, and you're not snapping as much. Not. She added quickly that you snapped a lot, but I've been trying to keep my temper. Probably the fact that you noticed means that I was snapping more than I realized. You also seem like you are better about finding the fun in things. Like what? Like when we were talking about how to do Eliza's hair for my wedding. That's the kind of thing that might have made you tense before, but now you're just letting her have fun with it without worrying about it too much. Anyway, I tell you that you have inspired me to try some of your resolutions. Really? That's great. What have you been doing? I was thrilled to think that my happiness project has influenced someone else. For one thing, I'm trying to exercise a lot more Pilates, hiking, cardio, ballet. I've never had a hobby, so I'm trying to think of exercise as my hobby, reframing. That way, it covers fitness and also the atmosphere of growth. Also, my dentist has been after me for years to get my teeth fixed, so I finally tackled a nagging task and got Invisalign, Invisalign put in. I have been eating at home more often. It's healthy and cheaper, and I have been going away more on the weekends, spending money in ways that will make me happy. And are these things making you happier? Yes, you're right. It really does work. I was actually kind of surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done. Wow.
Yeah. That's the
I like
and
the part we read today, actually. It was very interesting.
yeah. Today was quite fascinating, actually. She talks about those reminder notes, and then she's also talking about hypnosis, self hypnosis, being mindful. It was quite fascinating for me. Maybe many of our members, no, their readers would have loved the hypnosis part and the reminder part and being mindful
Yeah.
and
I, I
self
somehow
criticism.
I somehow was
Mm.
not able to connect with with the chapter yesterday so much, but today I
Mm-mm.
could connect, maybe because
Yes.
those are the things that I like personally, like drawing and food diary and all are
Yes.
on my list also. So I don't know, but yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe with you, with you leading it, it's a different energy also, right? Like it's different when it
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday, even Rajesh did a good job, but that segment was different. This segment is different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, we managed. That's not the thing. But then yesterday, I did not get many of the things. Maybe I'll have to reread it to understand it
Yes.
better. So yeah.
Yes.
But today I could
And
understand and connect better, like today as such. And and somehow I found in this book, especially every theme every month, somehow something links. Something is like something comes up that that is already on my list to do or something. Every month I've noticed it, and even this food diary thing, I was thinking of trying that for a long time. So now with her inspiration, maybe I would actually get started with it or try it out. I was thinking of doing it, but never actually done it. And one thing I had done, like I was doing this Manosas, I have again, like now it's dropped off, like it's out of touch. But in one of the this 100 days project or something he's doing now, in that one day he's
mm,
mentioned to track your time. So every
mm,
day you just track your time. So I remember I tried that, but I could do it only for half of the day. The later half, I got so busy with other things, so I just forgot it. Like same as this she said, right? Like you forget to be mindful about even writing or noting it down. It happens. It happens with me all the time. So yeah, very true. And in fact, but yes, that does make a difference. Even that attempt of writing makes you on a very puts you on a very conscious level about doing things. So you should in fact do it. And eventually we try to get more consistent with the writing and all, also noting and all. So that's a great process. Even logging our time, logging our energy is a good exercise. Apart from like if someone don't want to write about food, they can try whatever they want to work on basically. Like if you want to work on your moods, if you want to work on your emotional ups and downs, or on your energy, or anything you can track, and I have found that it's really helpful if you log such things over a period of 3 days at least. If we start, it makes a lot of it puts us into a lot of awareness, and we are able to identify our patterns. And once we identify the patterns, we can actually think about what can we do to change them, what needs to be altered, and things like that. So yeah, very nice read in fact. Even I liked her illustration, like the painting of day one and last day of the class. So nice
mm.
attempt. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm done. Yeah. Anyone else wants to add something? Please? I'll take the AI
Yeah.
notes of the reading, and later on we'll take of the.
Yeah, that would be great, Mansi. Thank you. Yeah, please just every notes. I'm lost touch with these things. Anyone else? Rajesh? Who else is there today?
Yeah, Mansi, I have taken the notes. I will share it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Then I'll not take. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I've taken
Manishi,
notes.
Hi,
Pranavi,
Pranavi.
three of you are there. Uh, Please go ahead. Today was like quite fascinating. The self hypnosis part, anyone would like to reflect on, or making notes of reminders, which section of the room, which place is meant for what is the purpose behind it? Would
Okay,
anyone like to comment on that?
fine. See, as we lead this month of pay attention and mindfulness, I think the author talk about many things how we can be the more mindfulness. Yesterday, the chapter was covered with how it is mindfulness with Buddhism and meditation on cones. These are the things was explained or this was discussed in the yesterday's chapter. In today's chapter, the same, the mindfulness, I think whatever he has tried, the hypnosis, and then whatever he tried, the laughter you got, drawing class, music and dancing, and the food habits, the food mindfulness. So, Tadavali, I think you shared about completely what are things we can day to day life we can apply the being mindfulness. Even he completely agreed that something it worked and something don't not working out. I think this is one good thing that we are trying something. The author, I think sometimes we regret to not we regret. I think we restrict ourselves to try something. Hey, this is won't work out. It may work and it may not work out, but just we can let's try it. Then we can find the conclusion. Then we can if it doesn't work out, we can ignore it. Like the author try to join that laughter yoga. People are trying something, people are doing something, but it doesn't make sense to the author, and they stop and then try something new. That is what try something drawing class. I think that helped. Even the drawing class, it was not perfection when it was started, but over the period, yeah, it was making I think making more concentration and it becoming more better. This also we can take it as a if you want to learn something new skill, we cannot be expert or we can't expect the complete or the fulfillness in the beginning itself. We have to give time and we have to over the period we can become better. That's the one thing we can learn from that things. And also what are the different ways we can be a mindfulness we can practice uh, the music and dance. And that was one important things I have noted down. I like that the food mindfulness. I think that we can apply it. I think when we are when we are noting down what we are eating, and when we're looking to this what we have heard later, we come to know that are we following that right food habit, or what do we have to make change. Sometimes we make a drawing a note down that what is to-do list, but this is the one important habit of making note down that food habits that will help us that make our life is better, and applying that mindfulness in good food habits. Yes, that is what I understood from today's reading, from my knowledge. Thank you.
Rajesh, that is wonderful what you have shared. Thank you. And yeah, anyone
Good morning
else
to
would like
all.
to have that? Yeah. Good morning, Pranavi.
Yeah. Um, these days I'm really working on the journaling part, and it really works very beautiful. At the start, I used to think that how far I can work out, but then, as the book was telling about the hypnosis, I'm just hypnotizing myself to, whenever I get that resistance to do the journaling part, I'm just giving an instruction to myself that it is just matter of 5 minutes. Just a pen and a book. I'm just trying to keep it near the areas which I use it in my home. So just 5 minutes, I'm kind of putting timer so that I wanted to tell to myself that it's just matter of few minutes, but then the change would be to a higher level. So it's really working wonders on me. So, and trust me, this is all a part of self hypnosis, I guess. So it's just matter of few minutes. So I'm just telling to my mind like that, and it's working beautiful. So from that, you can get lot of changes which cannot be expected also. So that few minutes would really change our life to a greater extent, and you would also get the practice of mindfulness in a real scenario. I mean, in the execution part. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mansi. That was a beautiful share.
It
And
was Pranavi. It was Pranavi.
Pranay.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, Pranavi. I'm sorry. I'm not being mindful now.
Yeah, that
Uh,
that was, that was a nice share, but actually even I
yeah.
liked it. Yeah.
Manish ji,
Yeah.
are you there?
I'm here actually. I was on the other call. So, yeah, so it was a great reading today, and I'm using the same, see, being mindful and like how it helps me. Like, I'm also doing the things like what I'm doing day to day is like I'm focusing all my day on focusing on what I can do on myself, like not really focusing on others and not thinking like which don't really become add value to me. So I'm just focusing my energy, my focus, like just like time blocking and writing. Because when we write our activities and goals and the things that are important, like my food habits or any other habits that I want to improve. So when we are writing, basically we are uh, like basically we are making our brain to work in a very coordinated manner actually, because when we are not writing, we are actually in a wandering state like a monkey mind, right? We are never settled into a one idea actually. Yes, this is what I have to do. But when I write, I'm coordinating different areas of my brain on that activity, and I'm doing my best. And then when I write, basically I'm concluding that idea, what I need to do by writing that idea on the paper, and by visualizing journaling and looking at that idea like regularly, like 2 to 3 times a day. Basically, I am focusing my energy, my mind on that particular task or activity. So that way, what is happening is like I'm having that laser focus on that activity that is important for me, and then my mind is become more mindful, and it we change from a wandering mind to a focused mind actually. So I think writing is very important tool in all areas of life where we want to improve. And seriously, I have noted that when I'm writing in the morning, that okay, these are 5 things I need to do throughout the day, and this is I'm blocking my time. Basically, what is happening is I'm focusing my mind on that particular activity on that particular time actually. Not like if I'm not writing, I'm just thinking so many ideas, so many things. What happened yesterday? You're always in a wondering state. But when you are writing, you have a diary. You know that yes, you have written everything what you need. It's just like uh, uh, when you're planning things, right? So the things happen in a very structured way, and you are more relaxed. Your emotional and your emotional state is also very positive. So what I've experienced is that when you see, I set a goal for every task that this is what I need to do in next one week, 2 weeks, 1 month, and then I work in a reverse way. Okay, if I have to do that in say one week, what I need to do today, what I need to do tomorrow. So I might have a one bad day, but I cannot have one bad week. So if I happen to do something not enough today, I'll cover it by the entire week. But this only happens when I'm writing. When I'm writing the goal, doing the journaling at the end of the day, and I'm seeing what I have missed, what I need to improve to do it better next day. It's just like if I can focus on just doing better 1% every day from yesterday, and do that by writing. It might be my reading habits or any other habit or my professional goal. So basically, I'm I'm putting my all my basically putting the a laser focus on that activity, putting all my mind, my emotions, my feelings, my thoughts, my beliefs for that particular activity. It's just like laser focus. And when you have a laser focus, and when you schedule a time that by this time I have to finish that, you are basically giving your best. Your entire brain network is focusing on that particular activity. So it just you cannot write two boards, so we have to focus on only one activity at one point of time. So like let's say if I've put 1 hour for that activity, okay, then I know that I have only 1 hour to do that work, right? So if I don't write 1 hour in my time blocking, then I'll be in a wondering state. Okay, yaar, I'll do it now, I'll do it now, things like that. So you're always in a very undecided state. But when you are writing, you know that you have only this time for that activity. It's just like giving exam. You only have that 2 hour or 3 hour, right? So your mind is fully focused. Your all your emotions, your feelings, they are concentrated on that particular activity. And writing makes it's just like visualization, and they become more you become more focused on your goal. So and I think that makes a big difference. Yeah, same thing Pranavi added, I think. So I think this is a very important reading today, and I think writing makes a lot of difference. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, Manishji. I see that you are implementing whatever we are reading actually.
Yeah, yeah.
We were discussing about this. I found that you have done an amazing work on your own self, from the atomic habits concepts to journaling and self improvement, and focus only on our own self. Have to compare our goals with our own self, not with the world or someone else,
Yeah,
and doing the things reverse way, writing it down, and then doing it the reverse way and being focused on it. And the reminders from our notes really help us. And charting our own growth is very important. Yes, amazing, Manish. Beautiful share.
And one
Uh,
more thing, I have been reading a lot different books, and I read a lot about Swami Vivekananda. He says that it is all inside you. What you can do,
mm,
from anything to everything, it is all inside you. So don't focus
mm,
on people, don't focus on anything outside you. If you can focus on yourself, you can achieve anything and everything. So my focus is fully on myself, not anything outside me. Otherwise, before that I was thinking कि भाई, I need some help, or I need a big team, or I need more resources and things like that. But I felt that I have so much. We Everybody has so much inside us that we can change. Just we can change our mind. We can do our proper focus. So many things we can improve. So many things we can do. And if we can do that, rest of the things will fall in place also. People will support you. It's just like you become a leader. You show something that okay, this is what you have done in a proper way. So then people will start supporting you. So this is how it works. Yeah.
yeah, thank you, Manish. I see CA Pallavi has joined us. Uh, would you like to share about your journaling, how you put a reminder around the house in your office so that you can finish all the tasks which you set out to do, and how you challenge your own self to fulfill anything like you're into music, dance, or anything like that, or drawing. Do you pursue that? Do you find time for it in your busy schedule? Would you like to talk about it, Pallaviji?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Deepaji, for giving me that wonderful opportunity for sharing my goals. Actually, I used to do journalism, but being September, October, a bit tight schedule for me. I try to make the reminder on my phone, and with the phone beep, I keep the schedule checked as to the time what to be done. And regarding hobby, with the pace of time, my hobby changed. As I can see, Rajesh ji has also joined. He once shared that his communication skill has been is enhanced because of the Toastmasters, and he is one of the fellow Toastmaster. Recently, I have joined the Toastmaster club, and that is only my right now. I'm just focusing on my office work and my kids and that Toastmasters club, and just to improve my communication skills. And because feel that communication is more important for to share, to put the lasting impression on the other person. And regarding my other hobbies, that has taken a setback. Maybe after Diwali, I would be continuing with my hobbies. One of my goal is to just to keep myself fit and take the habit of regular walking. And yeah, so this is only my primary goal right now.
Thank you, Pallaviji, uh, for joining in and also giving your share. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Wow, that was a wonderful share, Pallavi. In fact, I did not knew you have joined Toastmasters, but that's a great thing because I have always thinking of for a long time. I would love to understand your experience.
Can
Thanks to
anyone
Raj.
please explain me about Toastmaster? What is that?
Yeah, here Rajesh ji is there. He's the, I guess he's very one of the
You can
old
find
man.
on Google about Toastmaster. I think you can find on Google.
Spelling? Can you
Lot of
please
things.
spell it?
Yeah,
Okay, Pranavi, it's a
It's
platform.
Yeah,
yeah.
I will tell you about it, Pranavi. It is
Okay.
actually a club wherein
Okay.
people gather to speak the
Mhm.
way you're supposed to speak in a structured way. So basically, anyone can join the club and you improve your speaking skills on a podium. Like, how do you address the audience? How do you collect your thoughts together on any topic? So it's
Okay.
basically a club of people with like-mindedness who are interested in speaking. So
Oh, okay.
you develop your speaking skills. So
Yeah,
Okay.
they
and
gather
Okay.
Rajesh is
on
yeah,
they
Rajesh
gather
is a
at
part
our
of it
place.
since many years. Yeah, he's in
Mm.
fact leading also a few chapters or something like that. So he can, you can he can guide you in depth about how it goes and all. If you're
Okay.
interested, it's basically if you want to become a speaker or you want to develop your speaking abilities.
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful platform for that. Like it's a structured format, and everyone comes there for the same reason and works upon their communication and public speaking skills specifically. So that's
Okay.
how it is. It's designed that way. Also, one more thing, Deepa, would you want to just add your shares or something? Because somehow I don't know. I'm taking notes, but I did not get anything on your name. Like, so if you just want to give a gist about the chapter or whatever you want to share, like takeaways or anything, so that would be great before we leave. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So today's section was quite interesting. The self hypnosis, of course, it works for most of us. We don't even realize we are doing it. So it's just a reminder, boosting our own self and not looking for a partner to do it for us. So here the writer does it with someone else initially, then later she does it on her own. And then the making notes all around the house is a wonderful thing, especially for a person like me who is little unmindful of the routine activities and forgets. So I do make a mental note as well as physical notes. Like this section of the area is meant for this. Like I'm at the stove cooking, so it's a time to switch off the gas or switch on the gas while cooking. Certain things, no, we keep tend to forget. So I do that, and then yeah, I don't believe in comparing whatever I am doing with anyone else. Like the writer is trying to do her drawings and she doesn't care what anyone else says. She does take in the feedback, but she doesn't take it as a negative criticism. She takes it as a positive criticism. So even I tend to do that. I indulge in anything and everything. Whatever picks up my fancy, I do it, and then I just go about doing it. And then the conversation she has with her husband Jamie, wherein he says that her habit of decluttering and helping people to declutter. So sometimes she's forceful about it, so she takes in that criticism also in a positive way, and she realizes that some people might take her help in reorganizing the house and decluttering, but they might not like the way she's going about it or the comment she's making about it. So I guess with Diwali coming up and we all indulging in cleaning and uncluttering and reorganizing our homes. So we do it to our own self, and we do it to other people also. So we can be little more flexible about it. So yeah, that's my share. And overall, I thank everyone today for joining in. And next month for November read, please put a reminder in your diaries, everyone. In the first or second week, we'll do the November reading. And we have only 2 more months of this book reading. So total 4 days only you need to keep for this book. So that's it. And would anyone like to say anything else about today's reading?
Uh, yeah, it was beautiful, and thank you for leading it so dedicatedly and consistently for us. In fact, what I was thinking, we also an announcement that we will be taking a break for Diwali. Obviously next week for sure, and maybe after that, maybe 1 week or maybe we can start. Let's see. We'll decide on the poll and people's interest and attendance. Like if people are interested and really keen on joining, we'll take up a book or something accordingly. We can also decide on what type of books to read next, since it's like the last 2 months of the year that I'm more focused on, like how to close the year stronger for all of us. So let's see what we can do. And so we will be taking break from all of the readings and everything for Diwali and keeping it all free. Deepa, one thing what we can do as we come back, as we begin again, maybe we can start with the November this thing of happiness project if you are available and if you are okay with it. So that way we will do it either in the end of October or in the first week of November. So it won't go extended if that is fine with you.
Mansi, till November 5th, no, I'm engaged. I'm having little personal commitments.
Sure,
After
sure. Then
November
we'll do
5th,
it
I
after
can do
5th.
it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So
Mm.
we'll plan it accordingly. So
Mm.
whenever you are available, you can announce the dates or you can just let me know which dates you would want to take the reading. Accordingly, I can plan the other reading so that you don't have to wait for the book to finish or something like that. We'll see how we can accommodate November's happiness project reading. So we'll either take a very smaller book or we'll wait or we'll do something like I'm just saying. Whatever dates you feel are more convenient and you want to take happiness project on, you let me know. Um, on either of the now normally how we do it, what I've seen is we either do it on the first 2 3 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or or the last 2 3 days in a row. So whichever is comfortable, you let me know and we'll plan accordingly. No problem. Yeah. And yes,
Yeah.
just this thing for everyone that will be going on a break. So don't expect any reading messages on from Monday onwards for the next week for sure. And we'll keep you updated when are we starting with what which book and all of that. So please vote. There is a poll already shared by Mani Selvi for the afternoon read. So I would request like even if you are able to join for the reading or not, even if you would like to read that book offline like on your own or something, please do vote so that we know what is the interest and we can pick the book accordingly. And maybe you can join as possible or you can join for the discussion or something also if not for the whole reading or some as such. So please like when people are initiating, please support them so they can feel inspired to get going. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, thank you everyone and wish you a very 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 happy Diwali. And let's keep in touch through the group. Although we won't be doing anything such, let's be in touch for wishing everyone and all of that. And thank you Deepa, thank you everyone, thank you Rajesh for wonderful leading of these books, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy Diwali to everyone and all
Thank you,
the
everyone.
Happy
Happy
listeners.
Diwali to
Diwali.
everyone.
Happy
Yeah, happy
holidays
Diwali.
Happy
and
Diwali.
all
Bye.
the best.
Holidays.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
So, bye. I'm leaving, Mansi. It's okay, no?
Yeah, yeah, I have taken the
Rajesh?
notes, so you can
Yeah.
leave. Yeah. Also, Rajesh, I just wanted to, if you can just help me, how can
Uh,
we disconnect the audio or YouTube thing, like on the call?
uh,
If you
yeah,
can
yeah,
just show
yeah.
me, like,
If you open this mobile, live, click on that live in that section. That YouTube, no,
more
there is a
tab,
live.
right?
Yeah, yeah, the phone or tab.
Acha,
The
acha,
top,
there is this live button on top.
yeah, the click on the live, click that
Oh, you can
button.
click on that.
Yeah, if you click on that, then not if you click on that, then down there is one more small white color